Gaming Bolt presents 15 craziest and weirdest secrets that Mario doesn't want you to know. The Mario franchise is without a doubt the biggest there is in the gaming industry. So much so that the Italian plumber is now almost synonymous with the very concept of video games. And for good reason. The series has been active and consistently great for more than 3 decades now, and it spans a multitude of genres, excelling in almost everything it tries. From racers and fighters to RPGs and of course, platformers, Mario is everywhere. Considering the fact that it is such a massive franchise, one that has seen the launch of over 250 games over 30 years, there are bound to be secrets and Easter eggs hidden across the several games that people don't know about too well. Mario fans do admittedly have the capacity for being extremely keen-eyed when it comes to looking out for such Easter eggs, but surely there are a few that not a lot of people know about too well. In this list, we've compiled what we feel are 15 of the best and most intriguing secrets in Mario games that are not known very well. Given the scope of the franchise and the number of games we're attempting to cover, it's a given that we're going to miss plenty of secrets and Easter eggs. So, should you come across one, or already know about one that we haven't mentioned, don't forget to mention it in the comment section below. You can drive around Peach's castle in Mario Kart 64. Remember racing around the Royal Raceway in Mario Kart 64 and looking at Peach's castle in the distance? Well, you can actually take a quick drive around it. There's a dirt road in the track right before the castle comes into view, which allows you to get up close in front of the structure, which, pleasantly enough, looks exactly like it did in Super Mario 64. It's a shame that you don't get to drive around inside, but it's still a pretty cool secret nonetheless. The Shining reference in Super Mario Sunshine. Stephen King books, The Shining more so than most, and Mario are at two opposite ends of the spectrum. And yet somehow Nintendo found a way to pay tribute to the classic horror novel in a very interesting way in Super Mario Sunshine. In the very first level of the game, there is a huge manta that players can spray with water. Upon doing so, the manta breaks down into several smaller mantas before dissolving into nothingness. As fans of The Shining would know, this is an almost exact replica of a description at the end of the book. A courtyard in the shape of a GameCube controller. In Super Mario Sunshine, in the Serena Beach stage, the hotel's courtyard is in the exact shape of the distinctive and easily recognizable GameCube controller. It is actually very hard to miss, and most people who have held a GameCube controller long enough would recognize the shape in the game in an instant. Hidden Luigi tribute in Super Mario 3D World. Poor Luigi, always getting the short end of the stick since all eyes are on Mario. In Super Mario 3D World, however, he has his chance to shine somewhat. Hidden away in Super Mario 3D World is Luigi Bros, a Luigi-themed homage to Mario Bros, the arcade game that started it all so many years ago. Except this time, all characters in the game are Luigi. Maybe this is a delirious fever dream by Luigi, imagining what if he, and not his rotund brother, became the star. You can swim under boats in Super Mario Bros. 3. Super Mario Bros. 3 is full of secrets for the player to uncover. Little surprises and rewards awaiting the curious and accomplished player. In World 8, for instance, you can swim under the ships in Bowser's Navy, but you want to be careful the boats don't push you into the abyss with their weight and pressure. Collecting 9,999 star bits in Super Mario Galaxy leads to a surprise. If somehow you manage to hoard 9,999 star bits in Super Mario Galaxy, you will find that the coconuts turn into watermelons, and they stay like that forever, a reminder of your shame as a hoarder. We don't know why, and we haven't been able to make sense of what logic is behind this, but hell, it's Mario, just go with it. Reaching the castle roof in Super Mario 64 without all of the stars. Super Mario 64 is a speedrunner's dream. People find and discover new tips and tricks all of the time. One of these tricks is one that lets you bypass the game's requirement of having 120 stars to reach the castle's roof, something you can do with a few well-timed jumps. It requires skill and practice, as well as knowledge of the game's exploits to be able to pull this off, but the end result is truly satisfying. Yoshi appears on the roof if you do collect all 120 stars. While it is not necessary to collect all 120 stars in Super Mario 64 to be able to get to the roof of Princess Peach's castle, the view up there does become a lot better for Mario fans if they go up there after having collected all 120 stars available in the game. Why? because once you do, you get to see your favorite green pet dinosaur, Yoshi, on the roof. Referencing the GameCube's origin. The GameCube's codename was Dolphin, and you can find references to this codename plastered all over Super Mario Sunshine. Not only is the central Delfino Plaza hub named after the Italian, another in-joke, word for dolphin, it's lined with dolphin statues all over. Plus, some of the graffiti you clear in the game reveals images of, you guessed it, a dolphin. Warp whistles in Super Mario Bros. 3. These aren't a secret as much as they are a highly sought-after game unlock. Using one of these lets you access the warp zone and skip ahead in Super Mario Bros. 3. There are 3 warp whistles in the game, 2 in World 1 and 1 in World 2. Using these whistles can let you skip straight to the end of the game if you use them properly, that is. Samus cameo in Super Mario RPG. Super Mario RPG was filled with cameos from other Nintendo characters and stars, including Link from the Legend of Zelda series, and Samus, the beloved stoic bounty hunter from Metroid. She shows up in the Royal Castle after you collect the 5th star bit, and if you talk to her, she tells you she's resting up for a battle with Mother Brain. Wink wink, nudge nudge. Voluntarily shrinking characters in Super Mario Kart. Why you'd want your characters to be shrunk to a size where they can be bullied off the course is something we cannot fathom, but hey, you do you. If you want to do that, just press Y and A on the character select screen to turn your character smaller. This doesn't affect your speed in races, but it does make it possible for you to be knocked around or run over by other racers. Let's just assume that that's a good thing. Turning into 8-bit Mario in Super Mario RPG. Super Mario RPG may have been the plumber's first foray into the RPG genre, but that doesn't mean he forgot his modest 8-bit side-scrolling origins. In Super Mario RPG, in Booster Tower, if you walk behind a curtain, Mario turns into his 8-bit self. This is an Easter egg that can only be triggered once, and what makes it even more special is that it is accompanied by the classic Mario music themes from the original game. Pokeball-shaped planet in Super Mario Galaxy. Pokemon and Mario are arguably 2 of Nintendo's biggest gaming properties, so it makes sense that they would take full advantage of that and make references to each other every now and then. This was also the case in 2007's excellent Super Mario Galaxy. The game boasts of several planets for players to discover, and one particular planet is made in the exact image of a Pokeball. There's no mistaking it. We wonder what kind of Pokemon is in there. Spaceships from Pikmin 2 in Super Mario Galaxy. Pokemon is not the only Nintendo game that Super Mario Galaxy makes references to. Pikmin also gets the nod, twice. In both Space Jump Galaxy and Ghostly Galaxy, players can come across a spaceship that looks almost exactly like the one Olimar has in Pikmin 2. It's an obvious reference, one that fans of the Pikmin series will get immediately, and it's pretty great too. There just isn't enough Pikmin love in our galaxy. And that'll be about it for this one. If you guys like what we're doing at Gaming Bolt, please consider subscribing to our channel, and I'll see you guys on the next video.